Hey guys, it's Dr. Anderson at Life Essentials Chiropractic in Missouri City. So today I want to just talk to you about a question I get a lot, which is how insurance works after an auto accident. So there's a lot to know here. So first of all, you got to understand what state you're in. So it's not about what state you're a resident of. It's what state the accident occurred in. So if you are a Texan and you went to Louisiana for the weekend and someone hits you over there, it's going to be based on the laws of Louisiana. So here in Texas, some states are at-fault states and some are no-fault states. So no-fault states means that regardless of who did what to who, your insurance covers you, my insurance covers me. It's not anybody's fault. No-fault state. Texas is an at-fault state, which means that if I hit you, it's my fault. I pay for you. If you hit me and it's your fault, then you got to pay for me. This is why it's always important to get a police report and actually establish the true liability, because some things that can happen are, people sound like they have good intentions at the time of the scene, and then a lot of things can happen when those people part ways and maybe it didn't go the way they thought it was going to go, and maybe you don't get the coverage that you thought you were going to get for lots of reasons. So let's say it is not your fault and somebody hits you. In that scenario, then their insurance is required to pay for your medical care, and your repairs and your vehicle and any sort of damage you have. But today we're talking about medical care, right? So they will need to pay for your medical bills. And in Texas, it's usually $30,000 is the minimum that they're required to have. So they should have $30,000 up to that if it's necessary to be used towards your medical bills as a minimum. And then some people have a lot more, up to $500,000. And it's $60,000 per accident. So if it's you and your spouse, it should be up to $30,000 per person, right? So you should have plenty of money to get any kind of treatment that you need. So a lot of people get intimidated that they're gonna have to come out of pocket. That's usually plenty of money for 95% of auto cases for you to be able to get better, right? So that's the situation there. Now, let's say you still had bills left over even in that scenario. After that, if you have full coverage on your policy and you have personal injury protection or PIP coverage, or some states call it MedPay, that's another layer of protection. Highly recommend it. So somebody hits me and I need a bunch of care and we max out their insurance and we hit the limit and there's still a balance, then I got to pay for that. So in that scenario, then I can go to my own insurance and they pay the balance on that PIP coverage or MedPay coverage. And there's you can have 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000. It's whatever you want to add to your policy. I highly recommend you add something. Having the right coverages mean a lot. Now, people say, well, it'll be my health insurance. Most of the time, you have to go in order of liability, which means that health insurance is not liable because auto accidents are a separate type of coverage. So it can be real tricky trying to get your health insurance to cover something that's related to an auto accident. And usually, if they do allow it, you can only bill them the remainder after the person who hit you, then after your own PIP or MedPay, and only then you sometimes still have to fight them a little bit to get coverage for your own health insurance afterwards. So that's how it works. But most people, if it's not your fault, you don't got to worry about it. Most people have enough coverage to get you the care 90-95% of the time. And if it is a hit and run and or someone doesn't have insurance or they don't have enough insurance, there's another insurance you can have, which I personally have, which is called, you've probably heard of it, uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. That is your own policy paying in this scenario. It's a separate amount of payment, separate from the PIP, separate for the MedPay, where let's say someone's hits and run, it wasn't your fault, and you only have $5,000 of PIP coverage for yourself if you were at fault, but maybe you have a lot more for uninsured motorist coverage. It takes the place of that. So I highly recommend you have uninsured or underinsured medical coverage. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a licensed insurance agent. I'm just talking from experience for myself and for my family and what I see my patients go through every day. Having the right coverages really matter. The good news is we take all of that. So if you have any of that going on in your life, the most important thing you gotta focus on is just getting better. So just make the appointment, come in, we'll help you sort through all of it. We got a great staff that knows a lot about it that can point you in the right direction. So if you're dealing with that, don't be intimidated. You can still get the care you need, and we'd love to see if we can help.